First, I'd like to start by taking a moment to thank each and every one of you for being here. Whether you're a business owner, an employee of a business, or a prospective business owner, or even just a concerned citizen, your presence and participation is not unnoticed or unappreciated. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Jacob Wheeler, CEO of Meriwether Security Services, a realtor and a business consultant. I hope to be able to represent the business community today moving forward. Please, people, in my time here in Los Santos, I've spoken to and worked with a number of you licensed business owners, and regardless of the type of business or industry you work in, there's one common thread here, and that's our general sense of frustration and absolute distrust in the quote-unquote Chamber of Commerce. I ask you guys here today, do you know what the definition of a chamber actually is? A Chamber of Commerce is supposed to be an association or network of business people designed to promote and protect the interest of its members. All of you here today that own a business or want to own a business, we are members of the Chamber of Commerce. At least we should be. A Chamber of Commerce is not supposed to be a government organization or government body at all. A Chamber of Commerce does not write laws unchecked without proper legislation or involvement from the people that we actually elected to our government. Board members of the Chamber are supposed to be voted in by the business community, the people they are absolutely meant to represent. You do not simply apply to become a board member of the Chamber, and you are not just chosen out of favoritism or who you know. You are elected, and as an elected representative of the business community, you do in fact answer to us, the business owners. It is not the role or right of a chamber to restrict how many businesses an entrepreneur may own or start, and they have carte blanche ability to decide the cost of fees associated with running a business. I just mentioned this, but speaking of fees, it is as much to transfer the ownership of a business as it is voluntary manslaughter. If I walked into this crowd right now and bludgeoned one of you to death, I would be charged as much as if I wanted to hand you the ownership of my business. And if I walked in there right now and cut one of your kidneys out, I'd only be charged $750, which is cheaper than voluntary manslaughter and the cost of changing the license on a business. If the Chamber of Commerce wants to increase public trust, I highly recommend that they involve the business owners more instead of dictating the laws and regulations that control us from their ivory tower here. And I'm also not really sure what the Chamber expects of us, the public, when the entire bid process that was done for handlebars was an absolute complete botch job. In which they basically handed the license to a business owner that members of the Chamber have a personal and business relationship with. One of the members of the Chamber of Commerce sits on the board of Uncaged Motorsports. This is no slight against the business owner that actually won the bid. It's really just shining a light on the bias that comes with this and the inconsistencies in their policies and behaviors. And I fully expect, as I mentioned earlier, the same exact outcome to happen with the current bid process right now in Smoke in the Water. I guarantee you here that anyone who has interviewed for this or applied for this business has not been interviewed or asked to be brought in for an interview, and that it's going to be handed to Giles Clark. And that is currently a monopoly in this state. There is no other licensed dispensary in the city, and there's currently no intention or plan to give out another license for a dispensary. I highly urge the business owners of the state and everyone for that matter to actually go and look at the businesses that the Chamber of Commerce members are affiliated with and see the history of licenses and premises that they handed out and tell me that there isn't a bias or corruption. At the state representative debate, I was asked, should you not win the election, what would you do after the fact? And this today is exactly what I intend to do. If you have a concern with our current government or the policies set in place by the Chamber of Commerce, bring them to me. I want to hear from each and every one of you, your concerns, comments, questions, suggestions, because I'm currently working on 2 different bill proposals. One of them was brought to me by another concerned business owner and one of my own. And I intend to bring these proposals to the people that we actually elected to represent us, with the intention of hopefully bringing transparency in this government that we need, and also to the Chamber. And to the Chamber directly, yes, I've listed grievances today, issues, concerns, but I also do want to at least extend a thank you because they have done some good work here. In short time, they've been able to give us all licenses and premises and a chance to run our business out of those premises. However, a lot of mistakes have been made. The trust has been broken, and it's absolutely a time for change. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Sure,
I am going to say one thing and interrupt. Have you guys seen what they called us, calling us peasants on Twitter?
Oh,
Hi there.
yeah. Hold up.
My name is Bex Lawson. I'm a state
response to my tweet as well, by the
I was
way.
just voted in as state representative along with Cash Keller and Josh Ford. And I'm here because I'm very interested in these complaints. It's not that I think the Chamber of Commerce is corrupt or here to hurt us, but there is clear frustration here that needs to be addressed There are clear requests for transparency that need to be addressed. And I want you to know today that the state government is here. We do care. We are listening. I want to make that a little more personal. My door is always open. I want to be talking with you. I want to be hearing your complaints. I intend to work with citizens like Mr. Wheeler on bills and legislations to make things fair, transparent, and have equity across this city. Also, what I can tell you is that my other representatives, like Mr. Keller, are very committed to the idea of economic justice, transparency, and clarity. We do hear you, and I can tell you that this speech, this gathering, is 10,000 times more effective than my burning shell of a car back there. We are here. We are listening. Your words here are having an effect on this city and this government, and I'm here as proof of that. On top of what I'm doing here, which is listening, assessing your concerns, and learning your perspectives, in the near future, I intend to hold a business owner town hall at the Split Sides Comedy Club, where business owners will be able to come and speak directly with state government, as in me, and possibly other representatives, about their concerns and possible solutions.
You want to have a meeting at Split Sides?
Yeah.
When is that going to be?
Excuse me. As a crackhead, I want crack.
Oh my god.
Me too.
Crack
Gilbani,
for some,
Gilbani, I'll
small
talk to you after
American
this.
flags for others. But no, seriously, if there's anything I can do, please reach out. If I'm not in the city, you can email me. The success of a relationship depends on how well it fulfills the needs of both parties. Today, what you are saying is, I don't feel as though we are being fulfilled in our side of the relationship. I don't think that this is due to maliciousness or villainy. I don't think that this is due to mustache twirling, but it is a very real problem. And I want you all to know today, it is being recognized, assessed, and listened to.
I hate a different one. With a burning passion.
Yay! Good speech.
I appreciate it. I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm here to listen to people. If you have things you want to address, if anyone else wants to come up and say something or share their experience with the chamber, by all means. Otherwise, if you want to speak to me one-on-one about your concerns that want to be brought into the bill, I'm here to talk to you and listen to you. I'm curious, State Representative Lawson. Really, though, beyond having a meeting at Split Sides, what are your intentions? Do you have any changes in mind? And curious, do you own Split Sides?
I do, actually. Well, I'm a business owner. I'm not sure if everyone here knows that.
I just don't think that the business you own is probably the best place to have a meeting.
So just to clarify, the state rep there
have you
has
seen
just
the
said
news
to
websites?
us that we should go have a meeting at her premises.
Right,
That
that's
is
kind of what I'm
benefiting
getting
not
at.
herself
No.
just politically, but also financially.
That's
Are you
Let me-
serious?
Hold on.
kind of
hold
the
on.
point I was trying to make. I appreciate it. Someone
We can
recognizes
use
that.
Okay,
any
before
venue.
this goes
If
any
we want
further,
to use a different venue, that's totally fine. The point is, I want the business owners to feel as though they do have a line
Where's
with the
River City?
government. When it comes to
River City's good.
what do I intend to do? I am a business owner. I do own a venue. I do own a property. I know what it's like to deal with the city. I know what it's like to deal with public works for having events set up. I have done all of this myself. I know your frustrations because I have been in your shoes. And so when it comes to business, Chamber of Commerce, I don't have an immediate cure-all solution or silver bullet, but I can tell you that the representatives are aware of these problems. We want to make sure that there is clarity from the government as to audits, why they're happening.
Can I ask a
So if
follow-up
they're
question
aware
real
of
quick?
it, why aren't they changing it now? Why aren't we
Well,
voting on these fuckers to be out now and that gives
hold
new
up,
people?
hold up. Representative Lawson
Shit
was
like
just
this does
elected
take process.
Yeah,
last week.
I know that she was,
She's
but for
just
the
sworn in
COC.
yesterday, but I do have
the
follow-ups.
COC.
How, and this is Representative Lawson, do not take this as an attack, but it's more of a curiosity question and sort of
This
discovery.
entire thing is an attack, just to be clear on that.
Oh,
I
okay.
literally walked up to you attacking the fact that I won a bid that I
Oh,
worked really hard
I'm
for.
pretty sure I
so-
said in the speech that it has nothing to do with the
It
business
has
owner
absolutely to do with
no,
me.
it actually doesn't.
Oh, come on.
Representative Lawson, how long were you waiting for the infrastructure in your business?
It depends on the part. I mean, I had a lot of moving pictures.
So,
when it
so your
came-
employees were able to clock in and actually collect a paycheck?
Not for at least a month, no.
Okay.
I had to wait for a month. I had to wait.
Just curious.
I
Not-
put together events that Public Works said they would be able to help with, and that fell through. I have been in this. I have not skated through these systems and skipped queues. I've waited along with you. I know where you're coming from, but I don't think that blowing up cars or anarchy is the solution.
I mean, I had nothing to do with that.
I disagree,
Absolutely.
man.
Was it you that just fucked my shit up in my goddamn car?
car, I will sue you for $1 million.
So I don't have
Yeah.
a solution,
so
an
you hold
immediate
on.
silver bullet for you
Okay.
today. But
Never
I'm
mind,
here to tell
sorry.
you, we are listening. The state government is
I have
passionate about fixing this, passionate about listening to you. We care. Your concerns are our concerns. And I can tell you, Mr. Keller, Mr. Ford, and I, the new state representatives, we intend to be in the city as much as possible, whether that's the Mission Row police briefings every day or at protests like these. Your voices are being heard. I've been in office a day, and I've already spoken to business owners like Mr. Frankie Mandroni at the River City Customs. I've already spoken with city officials and police, trying to figure out what's going on, where your concerns come from. You know, I've been in office a day, and I'm already working on this and making this a top priority. I know that Mr. Keller is seeing this as equally a priority. We are ensuring that there's a sustainable solution that doesn't lead to violence or collapsed infrastructure and meets legal regulations. It's difficult. I've been in office 24 hours, but I want you to know we are here. We are listening, and you are not being ignored.
For anyone else who may have anything to say, obviously the floor is yours. If
Yeah,
you have,
can I say something?
Yeah, by
So
all
far,
means.
I've been in the crowd here, and all I've heard is chest thumping. I've not actually heard issues that are addressed apart from, oh, someone didn't get a bid. Like, what is these actual issues? Someone just be straight up. Come on.
Nepotism and favoritism. The fact that the people who are employed by the Chamber of Commerce were not elected to their positions, and that they should be, and that they serve no term limits, and that once they obtain that position, they can do basically whatever they want. They have no legislative oversight. They can change the fines, fees, regulations, anything pertaining to business at the snap of their fingers. And not a single person here or state representative or government employee other than the governor has any oversight into them.
Thank you.
And the fact that they did give a bid business up to someone, and then until it was contested, they then put that bid business up for an actual bid process, and then they just gave it to the same person anyway. The person who chose to say that I was attacking her and then walked away like a child. When in fact, in my speech, I said I was not attacking her. It was more so a statement on the fact that the chamber just handed her a business that one of the chamber members serves also on the board of directors. It just seems a little continued pattern of nepotism and favoritism, if you ask me.
I just want to make people happy, man.
I just want to be able to run my businesses and not have to, like Mr. Mambroni here, deal with random audits and audit it at will and whenever they choose to audit us.
Wait,
as an
there's
employee,
no
I just
crime.
don't want to
Being
go
audited?
into crime.
Yeah, randomly.
Randomly?
Yeah.
They random audit.
Yeah.
Have you been able to contact someone in regards to that?
They've been waiting for 10 days, and they then told her today they told them to fuck off.
Wait.
Yeah, the more we bother them, the longer we gotta wait.
Yeah, I've seen that shit on Twitter. I've seen people asking, you know, to discuss with COC members after they, actually, I think it was Mr. Mambroni's tweet that I saw like a week or so ago, and they openly mocked him, insulted him, and told him to basically go screw himself.
I mean, look at the way Giles Clark right now is speaking to people, and he's a former, granted, he's not a current employee, but look at the sheer fact in the way he's treating people on Twitter. He called me a petulant child for having a organized, my right to
He
organize
calls
concern.
us a peasant.
Yeah, and we're all peasants apparently as well.
And
this is a rebel.
I thought Giles Clark was that lady that was here yelling about shit. That was
I
her?
invited Giles Clark to come down here and speak to me face to face instead of
Yeah,
over Twitter,
and he
but I
also
don't think
called
he
us
should.
cowards over Twitter as well.
Yeah, calls us stupid, but he isn't man enough to show up here.
And I guarantee you, in a week from now, he will be the owner of Smoke on the Water, the
I
only
will not
licensed
be
dispensary
surprised,
in
brother.
this city.
He
That is
applied
a monopoly. The Chamber of
15
Commerce should
minutes
not be
before they
installing
closed
a
it.
monopoly.
One immediate promise that I can make now, if you apply for the Smoke on the Water premises and you feel as though you have been unfairly discounted or ignored by the chamber, not interviewed, talk to me. I'm going to see what I can do on that front.
I see we have members of Black Lotus Motorcycle Club here in the audience. You applied also for the premise up in Grave G, correct? Were you ever brought in for an interview throughout that bid process? I mean, it's a sham.
I've been trying to get a dispensary for over a month now. And when I finally got a response back, they told me to apply for Smoke on the Water. So that one basically got denied after waiting for 2 weeks. And now we're like 2 weeks, 3 weeks further, and still nothing. No response back at all.
I'm sorry? Oh, sure. And on the notion of, I'm not stressing the fact that to stress the fact that I'm not attacking the person that owned the Handlebars business bid, but that is also essentially a monopoly. I'm not sure anywhere else in the city you can go buy new motorcycles. There's used secondhand dealerships, but
best we got is Boathouse, and they got dirt bikes.
Yep. And PDM has race bikes.
So here's the thing about monopolies. A lot of businesses, including my own, are and will be a monopoly for the future to come because there aren't many people willing to enter said market.
Right,
because
but
of
the
challenges
process
and whatnot.
in which someone wants to enter that market isn't controlled by the Chamber of Commerce.
I was going to get to that.
Sorry.
The difference, I think, between a monopoly that we are seeing in some places, and again, I'm not familiar with every single business, versus monopolies that I'm sure some people here have, is, for example, Float and Soak. I'm hoping that I'm not going to be the only person that will be a skipper school and a diving school. I'm hoping. I'd love to be able to have someone else and essentially build a business association where we can mutually help each other, where we can work, where we can network, where we can support one another. You want to have an event somewhere, you don't want to necessarily, go through all the hoops of government red line paperwork. Talk to another fellow business owner. Go through an association like these. You want to have a charity event, out in the sunset, mutual aid with businesses. A business association to me and a business chamber should be a place that should network people together, not separate them, because we know how hard it is to already get an honest living. And I'm sorry, it's fucking true. Making an honest living and setting prices here is ridiculous because you set something that you deem is fair and you just get shit on. Or you have, in some cases, from what I've heard from fellow compatriots, absurd fees to pay monthly. That just don't make sense.
Right. I don't know where they get some of the prices they've evaluated these properties at, and when looking at the industry that business works in, they expect them to actually meet that monthly tax. It's unconscionable. I don't understand some of the price rates. I was quoted $30,000 for my warehouse in the docks on the basis that there was a decommissioned submarine there. Like, that contributed some value to my location.
Would that not make the valuation of the warehouse extremely, higher since it's a decommissioned military submarine?
The warehouse is still pretty high. I'm not contesting my valuation. I pay my taxes. It's more so just the fact that they choose things that really don't contribute. If anything, that was a deterrent to my space, as it took up a large portion of the space I could actually use.
I'm actually really glad we're hearing terms like mutual aid, business owners association, and unions. I'm a huge fan of strength in numbers. I'm a huge fan of the unifying industry. I've spoken with Mr. Kennedy, for instance, about a media association. I strongly believe that businesses should be able to speak to the government in numbers, make their needs and wants known, and have a clear pipeline to doing it. Something I intend to do in the coming days, probably this Thursday, is host, like I said, a business town hall. This will be catered. I will not be making a cent off this event. What I want is as many business owners, employees, entrepreneurs to come as possible, and I want to hear the problems you've had. I've been running a business in the state for 3 months. I gave away $100K to businesses at a Shark Tank style reality show. I have had success, but I also understand that many people are floundering. They feel as though their paths have been cut off, and they're frustrated. I want to give you guys a voice. Please, this Thursday, 9 p.m., Split Sides Comedy Club, I will be there. I want as many of you to come as possible, and we're going to have a conversation, because if you guys don't feel heard, that is a problem in and of itself.
I appreciate that, Representative Lawson. I can certainly say it for myself and my business associates that we will be in attendance. I just urge you, and again, please don't take this personally, I urge you and possibly other representatives, if possible, if you could bring something to Thursday that's more than just a repeat of this meeting where we get people together to just complain. I'd love to see some concrete ideas, or I will be bringing rough drafts of my bills. I would love to see something from the current reps if they have anything to bring.
Absolutely. I will pass that message along to Representatives Ford and Keller. They may not be able to attend, but if not, hopefully I will have some ideas on their behalf, and I will hopefully have some concrete ideas as well, and I will be happy to look at your bills and talk to you about sort of what works and what may not work, give you feedback, that sort of thing, because I do intend to champion businesses, and I would love to see your suggestions.
I appreciate that. Is there anyone else here who'd like to say something? This is a pretty much open forum right now.